going to get a VIP pass. So we're going to, and again, we want to bring our members down. Because I love the fact, right? And I really, it's one of my favorite things, is to say that there's nothing that a member gets as a member that he doesn't already get. Which is a great sales pitch, isn't it? It's like, you don't have to because you get everything. But I think what we can do is to give added kind of services or benefits that it's not like, there's no we closing it. I think, and there's always this conversation, why don't we close a little bit of OWASP? It's just that bit there. It's a bit like the books. Why don't we have a special chapter that is only the book, that is on the printed thing? But that like a cancer. Once you've done that, like where do you stop? So you might get a couple of members in the short term, but then you basically destroy our culture. So what I like about this, is the fact that what we can do is start to go into our members and says, okay, so you remember, you pay $9,000 or $5,000, and what you do is you get 2 trips to summits with a training session, right? And you get 2 free entries to our top conferences, and you get 20 books, and you get to present your ideas on 3 topics, right? And I think that becomes a much more valuable and tangible asset, because it's not just, you're helping OWASP, which works clearly so far, although I'll probably say that 40% of these stay there because their competitors are, right? So that's, I think we need to be pragmatic here, right? Because I will see that we cover a lot of sectors. There's a lot of sectors here that we actually really grab every sector. Like all the big players in that sector, we have them, especially the vendors. But we already have, a lot of other companies. So, sorry? Yeah, so we already have Boeing, Nokia, eBay, which are users. I actually would like to split them in half. I actually think that OWASP should treat them differently, right? Because there are vendors who are selling tools, which actually our community buys, and then the other guys are users.
Just a comment here. I see lots of industry, but the banking sector is not there. Like we don't have any large bank in the list.
We got one, don't we? Isn't Boots? I don't know. That was those guys.
So I know that they use OWASP a lot, like large bank in the US. They use all your material a lot, but it could be good to have them on the list as well. So maybe you should push for.
Yeah, I think so. I think that we the craziness of this is that if 10% of the global 1,000, right, that use, so if you have the top 1,000 companies that use OWASP around the world, that will cover, if 10% of those actually became our members, we would have a lot more membership. Because the number of companies that actually use our products is it's amazing, which is great. But that's part of our penetration. Part of the fact that why OWASP is so everywhere is the fact that there is no agenda. So from a membership point of view, I also like the summits, because the summits is suddenly it starts to make sense from a business point of view. Especially if we give them a stage, especially if we allow them to speak out, because because in some ways it's like, although we can't say there's something here that you're not going to have, we can be selective, for example, with our time. So there's no problem of saying, well, our members should help us to decide where we go next. So if you're not a member, if you have a great idea, we'll use it, but we should be rewarding our members also with the focus. So we could say, if you're a member and if you're in the banking industry, we really would like you to say, what are the things you want us to do.
Well, Dennis, we're on that slide deck right there. I mean, we're a large transfer agent, right? The largest in the world. What do you expect? What should we expect from OWASP after we got on this list from one of our sites in Australia? But what do we get, or what should we be expecting from OWASP, or what should we be contributing? I know we should be telling you what we need, but.
Oh, well, okay, so we can say what OWASP gives you today, right? So OWASP today gives you, even if you pay or don't pay, right, gives you a bunch of conferences around the world, communities where you can go and meet locally around the world, which are our chapters. It gives you materials for you to use to improve your application security, which we invest in. So if you look at the testing guide, we already put probably $10,000 on it, direct investment money, right? And there's the book, so we invest on Cruz. So we're giving you all these materials. Sebastian, a bunch of slide decks that you can use on your company. So we giving you all these materials for you to use to make your company better. Now, what you should be doing to OWASP is saying, we would like you guys to solve me this problem. We would like you to focus on this. I have, I think that having, like the example of having web code in a way that can be deployed throughout an organization, in a way that's measured, in a way that can be used, in a way that scales up, it's a very interesting enterprise requirement. Where you go, I have 5,000 developers, I'm going to send them 200 meg, right, of web code installation. Doesn't really work. So my view, of course, remember that, a lot of this, the board might, or the OWASP kind of community might think a little bit sometimes different than things I say, but I view that we should be getting our lead from users. From, when I mean users, is a company like yours, who are basically have an agenda of protecting themselves. So you don't need to say,